Something huge is happening in WWE. All because of one man, Triple H, the head of creative, the savior of WWE. It's a dramatic ass intro. It's all downhill after that. It's kind of funny. Nick Khan, Tony Khan, same last names, work for rival companies. Imagine if Shad Khan had an affair with Linda McMahon and they had a son and called him Nick. And his sole purpose was to eventually infiltrate and take over his stepdad's company. Oh man, how unbearable has Raw been for the last, 15 years, give or take a few years. It's been pretty damn bad, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel for now, as it seems, because a new era has started in WWE. Welcome back to the channel, and we're talking about the new era in WWE. The Triple H era. Vince McMahon is out the door. Supposedly, if you're CM Punk, you probably don't believe it, but he's out the door. Nick Khan, Stephanie McMahon are running the show in terms of the corporate world. You got Triple H, the head of creative, and we've seen massive sweeping changes as the short amount of time has happened since he started till now. We've had Bayley, Io Sky, Dakota Kai show up at SummerSlam, immediately thrusted into the main event picture. The women's tag team titles are now somewhat viable. We are seeing a tag team tournament currently going on. We'll see who ends up winning that, and if the champions can actually have a solid run and the titles can actually mean something for once in their lifetime. We've seen Tommaso Ciampa be prominently shown in the mid-card title picture. The mid-card titles have been elevated somewhat so far. It's a short amount of time, but they've been elevated and have become a little bit more prestigious with the video packages and the importance surrounding these championships. We've seen Dexter Lumis arrive in WWE. We saw Karrion Kross come back. No S&M mask, no bondage anywhere to be seen. He is back, and he's immediately thrusted into the main event picture as well with Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. So that's an overview of what we've seen so far in the Triple H era. Better booking, we've seen more importance on match quality and championships as well. It's not the same old you fight this guy for 6 or 7 weeks in a row in a different type of match every single time. Tag team, you fight his lackey, you fight an associate, you fight some other heel that has to do with that person. It's a lot of convoluted stuff we've seen in the past in feuds going from month to month into these pay-per-views, and we are seeing a little bit of a change of pace here with Triple H behind the helm as the booker. More importance on these mid-card championships we've seen. They are slowly building up other stars. NXT has arrived on the main roster. He is righting the wrongs of all NXT talents that were mistreated by Vince McMahon and not booked correctly and thrown to the side in the wasteland that is catering in a 24/7 championship picture. What can we expect going forward from this point on? Can we get more of the same? What can they do better? What can Triple H do better? What can they present better in the future to keep this momentum going and finally get WWE back to a spot where it's competitive in terms of in-ring product and stuff like that with AEW. Now, what I can see going forward is a continued importance and spotlight on those mid-card championships. I think what they got to do is they got to fix the convoluted mess that is the champions or the two championships being held by one guy. Either you split those titles back up or you just create one undisputed world universal heavyweight galactus champion in Roman Reigns or some other person. And then those mid-card titles by default will feel more important because I've always brought this up. you travel the champion around from show to show. Whatever feud he's in on the other show, that means the other show that is there becomes the main show for that mid-card championship, and that mid-card championship feels like it's more important over there because it's the main event and everybody's going for that. So I think we can get more of that going forward. We can get more prominent storylines for prominent individuals that have been underlooked previously in WWE. So we can continue to see Tommaso Ciampa continue to rise up the card. AJ Styles get back into the main event picture. Karrion Kross already in the main event picture, be presented as the monster that he is. We can get a lot different variety of superstars in and out. Also, what can we expect? More NXT talent to come up and be presented in a proper way. What I'm hoping, we get some vignettes going from when an individual jumps from NXT to the main roster. So Hit Row came back, which was, widely celebrated, but they're missing a key member. Swerve Scott's in AEW with Keith Lee, who's another guy who, if he wasn't in AEW, that guy would be in the title picture right now as we speak. So we could see Carmelo Hayes maybe come up, get some vignettes, and eventually debut as the new leader of Hit Row. We can see a lot of that. We can see a lot of that going on. Some guys from NXT UK maybe make their way up. A rebrand of Butch, bringing back as Pete Dunne. That would be something anybody on the face of the planet who's watched some NXT would love and adore. We could get some other interesting debuts or reemergences from some certain individuals who left the company. Can we see a Johnny Gargano come back? Can we see a Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, come back in some capacity? There's a lot of names out there. I hope they do spread it out and not blow their load all in one shot there, but I hope we get some of that. I also think we will see a lot more of serious storytelling in terms of not such goofy nonsense going on. I know we saw a little bit recently in this past episode of Monday Night Raw with Ezekiel and his whole family, that type of stuff. I think we still get some of that, but with Triple H, remember NXT Black and Gold was very serious for the most part. It went out on a limb a couple of times with the zombie stuff. Yeah, it was all fun and dandy, but we're gonna see some more serious storylines, some more eyes on the prize, and the prize being that heavyweight title, the mid-card title, the tag team title. I think we can see a lot more of that. What can we expect also is maybe a bigger focus on creating and building tag teams. Vince hated tag teams. Now, don't get me wrong, his logic makes sense. Why pay 2 guys or 4 guys the amount I can pay 2 guys to do in a singles for the same product, basically? I mean, it kind of makes sense, but let's put some focus on some tag teams, because the Usos cannot dominate the entire time. New Day cannot dominate the entire time. Let's make these tag teams worth more. So that's something we can see in the future as well. Now, I touched on the possible future returns. We can get Johnny Gargano coming back. We can get Candice LeRae coming back. We can get The Fiend coming back. We can get Braun Strowman coming back. And we can have some possible poaching of talent here. Now, some individuals may be excited that Triple H is now head of creative because they worked with him previously in NXT. Again, Keith Lee, if he didn't sign, he would be here. Adam Cole, if he didn't sign, he would be here. But one guy that may benefit a lot is Roderick Strong. So we're looking at who's going to benefit from this the most. Roderick Strong is the guy, probably him, Tommaso Ciampa, are going to benefit the most because Triple H likes these individuals a lot. So we can see a lot of breakthrough with a guy like Roderick Strong, who's asked for his release, didn't get it. Now he could come up to the main roster, have a prominent role. Tommaso Ciampa can be a heavyweight champion sometime in the near future. If Gargano shows up, those are the individuals. Basically, all of NXT, former NXT and current NXT, will benefit from Triple H. Could we see Miro come back? Who knows how long he's signed for? He's not doing that great in AEW. If MJF, if his contract expires, could he, look at Triple H being head of creative and make WWE a spot of much desire for MJF to show up? So the possibilities are kind of endless here with Triple H at the helm. Now, who does this not benefit? Those individuals who Vince McMahon saw because of just their massive size or their look as being superstars. Omos, a big guy, can't really wrestle in the ring. Nobody's a huge fan of him, really. He's a guy who can fall off a cliff there. We can see guys like maybe Jinder Mahal fall off a cliff. We can see a handful of guys in that situation fall off massive cliffs and never be heard from again. So you got to watch out for guys like that. It's only a few of them, but there's a handful of these guys who are Vince McMahon guys, obviously WWE prototype guys that may not be around much longer, or maybe get dropped down to developmental and hang around on the NXT 2.0. But the question of the day, The $1,000,000 question is, can this last? Will it eventually fall apart in itself? Because remember, a lot of this stuff, the early releases, the budget cuts, were not only because of Vince McMahon. Nick Khan did play a part, and that man is still somehow there. And he's made his way all the way to the top as co-CEO along with Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. Now, will the good times last? Will they ruin it? Remember, it's a corporate structure. They may be looking to still sell the company. That can happen, and if it does, it's going to be the end of it. You're not going to like what you're going to see out of that. Nick Khan may be the only person that could ruin the good times that are happening and the good times that can keep happening with Triple H as the booker. That's the only guy I see in the path of all this is that. Obviously, you have WWE in the backstage politics, the nonsense, the bickering back and forth. I think we're going to see a little bit more of a cohesive unit when it comes to storytelling and booking, unless if you're CM Punk, you say Vince McMahon, just because he tweeted this out doesn't mean he's not going to have his hands all over the product still. That can happen. He could still have his, he could still be in the ear of Triple H and Stephanie. I can imagine what the hell the family holiday dinners are going to be like going forward, with that family. Could be a screaming contest back and forth. But I think Nick Khan is the one to watch out for here in terms of, can he spoil a good thing and the new era of WWE. But guys, I'm excited. I know you guys are excited. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of Triple H so far. What do you see happening? Do you see any other returns? Who benefits the most from this? I think it's all unanimous saying anybody who's NXT related benefits the most out of this. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you drop a like on this video, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell, because for some reason that's a thing, and YouTube doesn't really want you to watch anything unless you press that. But even then, if you press it, they don't really want you to watch it. But appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on the Wrestling Report and on the next video.